Today we are sharing 5 questions to ask yourself before you relocate to Salem, Oregon. So hopefully, if you are somebody who is considering relocating to Salem, Oregon, or anywhere in the surrounding areas, hopefully this video gives you some value and answers some of your questions that you might be asking yourself.
You know, I'm in Portland last week. Quick story.
Yeah.
And we're getting some ice cream. We're at Salt and Straw. And I love talking to the people and just saying, you know, how's your experience in this area? I just love talking real estate in general with people and then their experiences in particular parts of Oregon. I just so happen to be in Portland. And I say, you know what? Are you from here? That's always a great conversation starter. Are you from here? And he says, well, actually, no, I'm not. I'm like, well, where are you from? He says, the Bay Area in California. And I'm like, okay, you got to educate me. What would make you, in your right mind, move from the Bay Area here to Portland, in this spot specifically? He says, well, money. And I'm like, looking at him, I'm like, how does that make any sense? You are in one of the most expensive districts here in Portland, coming from the Bay Area. How are you making ends meet here with this job? Well, it's been him and his girlfriend's dream to live in Oregon, specifically the Portland area. So there's realities for people, though. They really want to be here in Oregon. I don't know if it's the adventure side, the parks and recs, the seasons, the job opportunities, who knows? But it's their dream, and they were from the Bay Area, which is by far more expensive than, I mean, any other parts of this country on the West Coast that I would suggest.
That's what I was just going to say is that area in California, like the Bay Area, San Francisco, whatever, is so much more expensive than Portland. I know everyone in Oregon always talks about how expensive Portland is because if you compare it to Salem, for example,
that was my thought process.
It's so much more expensive. We think it's expensive looking at houses in Salem.
Literally, however, like 2 times.
For being a city on the West Coast, I believe it is or at least one of the most affordable cities on the West Coast. If you compare it to Seattle, it's cheaper. Like, it's definitely for the area. So it all depends on where you're coming from.
Within the last 2 years, they've just had this name. They've been the riots are still there on conversation. They're not taking place anymore. But every time I talk about Portland with somebody not from Oregon, hey, how's the riots? It's homeless population. Oh, you guys legalized drugs. Yeah. There's always something in the news, the headline that the media's agenda is pushing onto our great state. But in reality, we go and we visit, we have fun. We were on a yacht tub is what it was called. We literally got to scroll on the Willamette River in a hot tub.
There's a lot of fun things
different
to do there.
Things keeping Portland weird.
Yeah.
And if that's you wanting to know more about Oregon, I really think that's why you came across this show today. Yeah. It's an amazing place to live, whether it's in Portland, Salem, Eugene, Roseburg, LaPine, wherever. We're here to help you guys.
That's one reason I love living in Salem, because it is such a quick drive to Portland. I've been up there the last 4 weekends in a row for different events going on there. Whether it's been a holiday thing or a Blazers game, or like you said, it's nice because we get to be so close. It's an hour from Salem. So you get to go there and enjoy. There's so much more to do there, obviously, being a bigger city than in Salem. So you get to go enjoy it, but we get to also enjoy no traffic. Well, I don't say no, but very little traffic. Extremely small amounts of traffic in Salem.
Time it out.
Low home prices, all of that. So with all that being said, we do have people reaching out to us all the time from these YouTube videos. It might just be like you watching who are moving to our area from all over. We love it. If that's you, don't hesitate to reach out. We love to help you as well. I will put our contact information below. We are a top producing husband and wife real estate team here in Oregon, and we do work all over. We have clients moving to Salem. We have clients moving to Portland. We have clients moving to Corvallis, and all of the places in between. There's lots of great places to live. So, okay, first question you want to ask yourself before you relocate to Salem, Oregon is, how close is my new place that I'm wanting to move to, or my house I'm wanting to move to, wow, I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, you're butchering that one.
I'm sorry. Let me restart.
What do you got? Let's
How
restart
close is this house that I'm looking at to my new place of work?
Okay.
So
your driving distance, your driving time.
Yeah.
How convenient is it?
I've had clients move here who work downtown, whether it's, we have the Capitol is downtown, the Oregon State Capitol. We also have the Oregon, a great hospital, the Salem Hospital is downtown. We've had clients relocate here just to work there. And many of these clients choose to work in West Salem because you're going to have great... Yes.
live in West Salem.
Yes, because you're going to have, because they're looking at that proximity to their place of work, which is downtown Salem. West Salem is just over a bridge to, there's a bridge separating downtown Salem and West Salem. However, West Salem has great schools, lower home prices than, South Salem, for example.
Different
so
county.
It's a good place to live. Yes.
And, I could relate this question, not just simply for Salem specifics. I mean, I got clients, they work in the hospital districts. I mean, the IT departments, the tech industry, and they say, Spence, I don't want to live dead center, central Portland, or just where the city center is because that's my workplace. I'm happy driving within a 40 to 45 minute distance to work. Because if you're traveling across from a different state, sometimes that's not abnormal to you. You got different traffics. Yes, the mileage is different, but you're not sitting in traffic. And that's one thing we get to brag about being here in Oregon is the traffic. I wouldn't say is bad. There's always a side road. There's always another GPS route. Make sure to have your GPS on, and it can get you on a different highway route, just like I would assume you're already doing where you currently live.
Yeah.
But there are outskirts cities, and that's what I do love. And these outskirts cities have everything that you need shopping-wise, banking-wise. I mean, it's very convenient, especially if you're circling the perimeter of Salem or the perimeter of Portland. I mean, there's a lot of great options, and usually these options come because of the price budget. It's just the simple facts. It's usually a little bit less expensive when you talk about real estate. What can you get more of for the less amount of money? And that's why these outer skirt cities are sometimes more important for you guys, our buyers, to look into buying when moving to Oregon to work specifically in the capital or in the city in Portland or Roseburg, for instance. There's always an outskirt city, and that's what we're recommending. And there's opportunity out there still.
And that's another reason why hopping on a Zoom call or even a phone call with us is going to be really beneficial, because that's one of the things that we do discuss is, I get to hear from you guys what it is that you're looking for and where you're coming from and what you kind of expect in an area. And then we can kind of let you know what to expect about all these other towns, because, it's important when you're not going to see the place until after you buy the house many times. So number 2 is, are school districts important to me and what schools are in the area? So in Salem itself, we have actually, I would say, especially our daughters getting to the age where we're starting to look into schools. So
Heavily.
We have a lot of really great private school options, for one, in Salem specifically, and then also in all the surrounding towns. Okay. And then also there is the Salem Kaiser School District, which is the public school district in Salem, and then also Kaiser. Kaiser is a different town, but they share one school district. There's a lot of great schools in the Salem Kaiser School District. And then there's also towns that are just on the outskirts, some more, if you want like a smaller, more rural town with great schools as well. And so one thing that we do is we point our clients that this is important to them. We point them to a website called schooldigger.com. Then you can check out exactly what the school ratings are for the schools that are near what neighborhood you might be looking in.
Yeah, and say you're flying into town and we're showing you homes already, and it's part of the school season, not during summer.
Yeah.
You can usually call the school, ask for administration. You want a tour. I'm here in town. I want to see this school. I have high interest in bringing here. I'm looking to buy a house. Can somebody meet me at the front office and it just show me a tour? Usually there's somebody that will go through the school with you, let you know if it's up to your standards. And because everybody is specific. I mean, I'm going to choose a certain school because of what they're offering my son or daughter at that time, whether it's academics, athletics, or just teaching. It's one of those things. And I want to make sure I'm feeling safe, I'm feeling comfortable, and ultimately my child is in the greatest position to succeed. And I think that's where Mariah and I are at right now. We have a lot of options, but what is the best option? Quite honestly, we don't even know that answer yet. But the cool part is go tour, go find something in person, go make a phone call to those specific schools you may have interest in.
Yeah. The next tip is ask yourself, am I open to towns on the outskirts, or is Salem specifically, or Woodburn specifically, Silverton specifically, whatever town that is specific, do you want to be in this one town only, or am I open to towns on the outskirts?
Yeah.
So I think that just depends on, actually a lot of our clients who move here are people who work remotely, so they don't care as much, but then some of them don't, and they want to be closer to their work. So it just is such a personal question. And again, like I said, we can discuss different towns outside of Salem on a phone call or a Zoom call. And we have a handful of videos over on our channel where we have gone in depth on sharing like what different towns there are that a lot of people are moving to on the outskirts that you might like and like what to expect. So go to our channel and check those videos out as well. Next is how much home can I afford? Don't forget about property taxes and adjust your budget accordingly. This is important. There are certain areas of town, let's say South Salem, for example, very desirable side of town. You're going to see the highest average home price in South Salem. You're also going to see the highest property taxes. So that's something we can discuss with you, but know kind of an idea of property taxes in your head, what different side of town is highest and lowest, because that could affect where you're wanting to look.
What's unique about your budget and what you can simply afford is your lender's going to lay it all out there. And usually your property taxes do come into play. A lot of people don't realize that until they end up talking with their lender and saying, this is what my monthly mortgage I can afford and I'm comfortable to spend on my mortgage. Well, the property taxes are generally going to reflect something. What's cool is when you're using us as a realtor, by the way, it's absolutely free for us to be searching properties, sending you properties, and booking these showings and then submitting offers for you. Yeah. But what's really unique is in all of my property searches, I have very unique qualifications that I can submit and put in. So only those homes that you qualify for will be sent to you, or I'm reviewing and then sending them off individually to you. So there are unique features in all of our property search settings to where it's going to be unique for every buyer. Not every buyer is the same. Not everybody's qualified for the same purchases. Not everybody can afford a $10,000 property tax bill. I know I can't. So I don't want to. Yeah. And that's the cool part about using a realtor. It's a free service. Use us while you got us, and we'll represent you well. Very, very well.
Last but not least, the last question to ask yourself is, what is the first step to relocating to Oregon and buying a house? That would be shoot us an email or inquire through our website. I will put those both in the description below. We will get back to you right away, and we will get like I said, a Zoom call or a phone call, whatever is best for you, set up on the schedule and talk about the next steps and get all your questions answered. And we can't wait to hear from you.